Hello, welcome to the channel today. I've got something to bring to you which may be of interest, may not be of interest, but just hear me out. So, a couple of videos ago, I did Will Sports Interactive be bankrupted by Football Manager 25? And we looked through all the accounts and I tried to explain what I thought was going on with a £125 million gamble. And, that went well, that was fairly well received, and thank you for watching that. Now, today, I've been looking at the other side of it, which is Sega. And I think this is quite an important thing to pick up, and what I found is pertinent for the radio silence this week. So, one of the things about the radio silence has been a lot of theories. And we all know there's been a lot of random theories coming out. For example, tonight as I'm recording this, everyone's turned into a recruitment consultant because all of a sudden Sports Interactive are now advertising for a lead game designer. It's getting clutching at straws time. And I know a few comments in my video last time were saying I was clutching at straws, but this seems to be really clutching at straws now. We've had no information, no news, and it is getting to that point. But Sega have been very quiet. We did hear in a BBC News article, so Sega are looking at potentially a Netflix-like game subscription service, but we'll ignore this with all the Sonics and Shadows. So they talked about Sega obviously cutting 240 people, losing their jobs across Sega Europe. But they've also said the Football Manager was getting delayed till next year. He said the Football Manager had been delayed over a quality issue. I mean, financially, maybe providing a game at an early stage can be the better choice, but we decided to keep having the quality level to keep that discipline. That's a throwaway line here. And that's literally all Sega have come out and said. Or is it? So let me just show you. Let's get away from Jim Carrey and Sonic the Hedgehog. Let me just show you what we've been looking at today. So, for people that don't know, Sega Sammy is a public limited company listed in the Tokyo Stock Exchange. As such, Sega Sammy have to provide updates to investors, shareholders, about the company's performance. So, you see a lot of things about Manchester United in a football context. They have to provide updates to the shareholders to explain what the dividends are or why the shareholders should retain the shareholding to keep the stock price high for dividends, etc. And that's key because obviously if you don't promote it well if you don't promote something well to your shareholders, they may wish to sell. That drops the value of your company, and that can be catastrophic for a company because it means the demand to buy the stock obviously drops, and therefore the price drops, and then you get into this bit of a downward spiral. Anyway, that is what investor relations is all about. Now, Sega Sammy have to do it quarterly. Now, this is really, really, really interesting. I've been reading this today. You can see here the current stock price is 3,074 yen. It's about $4 when I looked at it. Okay, so we're going to go into their investment relations library. I'll put the link to this down below. Okay, so this is a financial result presentation that they've provided. So we're going to quickly, I'm not going to show you all of this, but I'm going to just go to Football Manager. So this is quite key. So in November, they announced that they were doing a major intellectual property, that's what IP stands for, rollout plan for Football Manager 2025. The postponed release date was from November to March to ensure game quality, which is what obviously was said in the BBC News article. Change the development engine to Unity, renewal of UI or user interface, enhancement of graphics, addition of, as we know, Premier League and adoption of female soccer. Look, it says here that as previously stated, we decided to postpone the launch in order to prioritise the assurance of the game's quality. This instalment will include the Premier League and the adoption of female soccer for the first time, and we expect it to hold significant potential. That's the one bit with the presentation script. So this is actually another point. I've just been reading this as I've recorded this, and then obviously I've reread this bit. So it is pointing out here. On the other hand, as we prepare for the launch of Sonic Rumble, first title in collaboration with Rovio. So Sega Europe have just acquired Rovio. That's the Angry Birds developer. And considering the impact delay in the release of Football Manager 25, we recognise the need to closely monitor the future business performance. So they are highlighting here quite clearly they have concerns to investors about the trends in each business in the second half. And they're expecting the delayed launch of Football Manager 25 to be a big impact. So, as we can see, this is called the investor relations schedule. And you can see here we've had quarter one by June, quarter two, quarter three. interim dividend. Third quarter results announcement for December will be, I'm not 100% sure, but this is my theory, is that this ties in with the fact that we were expecting some sort of announcement and we haven't heard anything as of yet. They have to inform the investor relations. For investor relations, any changes in Feb was last year, the 9th of Feb 2024. Now, the 9th of Feb 2024 this year is a Sunday because of the leap year. So I believe that we will hear something potentially around the 7th of Feb. Now, that would tie in with the radio silence of not announcing anything that may affect investor confidence in Sega at the end of January. And there's been a tweet out by Out of Context Football Manager this week, which I think a lot of people have picked up on. And I don't know, it's one of those theories. So Out of Context FM tweeted, again, this is a tweet of a theory. It's not concrete, but it does sort of tie in with what we were talking about earlier. Also revealed to me the game was being delayed initially way before it was announced. It said that the game is going to be delayed until sometime in May or after the season ends, and this was on the 1st of Feb, and the next announcement would be taking place next Friday, which would have been the 7th of Feb. Now, that is obviously a theory. There's a lot of theories going around at the moment in time. Everyone's trying to work out what's going on, but if they are going to have to reveal to investor relations, Sports Interactive, like they did in October, before it went out on the 8th of November, would have to give some sort of information. Now, if it's not going to look good, it's not going to look great to it's not going to be a great public image for Sega Sammy if they give false hope with information where actually it's going to be a delay. So based on the Out of Context FM tweet, which you got to treat with a pinch of salt. But more importantly, with the Sega financial year quarter coming up and the results due imminently, I believe, and this is my theory, is that Sports Interactive will announce something in the coming days. Whether or not that's the features that I was talking about in my video on the 1st of Feb, or if it's the delays, I'm not too sure. Sega are obviously invested in growing the IP and the intellectual property of Football Manager. Sega is in control of the situation at the moment in time. If it's good news, that's going to really boost their investment portfolio for people, and it will boost the value of the company. If it's not, they are going to be putting damage limitation on at this moment in time. Anyway, that's my theory. Don't know if you agree, don't know if you have any comments to make. Thank you for watching the video. Hopefully you found this a bit interesting. I'll put all the links down below. Until next time, take care. Arrivederci. Bye-bye.